Good afternoon and welcome to Sunset Rewind as we go through a series of podcasts with the boys volleyball coaches for the 2026 Sunset League schedule. We are really fortunate. First of all, my name is Charlie Brand and my partner, Taryn Rodriguez, is with me. What's your nickname?
So I'm known as the Answer Man, according to you, but I also am known as the Dawn.
The Don.
The Dawn.
Okay. That's good. Well, we are really lucky and fortunate with the Dawn to have Katie Thompson here. And it might be Katie Thompson Miller or Katie Miller Thompson or her married name. She'll figure that out. But she's the coach at Corona del Mar, a very, very successful coach, a girl I've known for most of her life. And I just have great respect for her and her family and what they do there. Katie, thank you for being with us.
Absolutely.
As a new mother and a returning coach, you've got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, so I have a 6-week-old. Her name's Scotty, and
Scotty Marie.
Yes, yeah. And she has been very big on our practice plan. So every day when she takes a nap and I get nap trapped, that's when we develop what we're going to do that day, and I'm able to really curate what we would like to happen. So she's been instrumental in that and has even attended a practice so far.
I did hear about that. So, you are in somewhat enviable position because you returned 6 of your 7 starters. Only your libero from last year, Brogan Glenn, who is now at UCLA.
Right.
It's the only spot, but you also have a backup that played considerable time last year. Tell us about what you think your strengths and weaknesses are of this team.
Yeah, so we're definitely taking a different approach from previous years due to the fact that we have so many returners. We have athletes who have been in, high-level situations before, which is fantastic. They've played together. This is Drake's 2nd year in the setting position, which is fortunate for us. So our approach this year is not necessarily having to teach the systems. It's more of adapting and making it work for us. So one of the things we're really focusing on is, mental stamina or anticipation with communication and staying disciplined. Those are the key aspects in our gym right now. What we do at the beginning of each year, which I actually got from Andrew Sato when I coached with him, is we start off with what are we good at? What do we need to improve on? And what do we want to be known on for the year? So we always kind of start with that, which kind of helps shape the vision as a team. And as coaches, our coaching staff, we go into that as well. But then we break it down where we meet with each individual athlete and kind of set goals and what we need to do as well. So some of our strengths this year is definitely in the middle. We have Danny Booker, who I know plays opposite in club, but he's back in the middle for us. And he's looking really great. Our outsides are very consistent with Ben Brown and Hunter Hanneman. Chapman's really stepping into that role of libero, and it's fortunate that he has, Hunter and Ben as well, who've been there beside him in the serve-receive.
Yeah, I was really impressed with Hunter's improvement over last season. Mm-hmm. He really came a long way. When you have CDM volleyball on your jersey, you got to understand, especially with 6 returning starters, that there's a target on you every time you play. So I think one of your preparations will be to continue to stress the focus, the need to stay focused, because they're going to be after you all season long.
And we know that, people show up to play CDM anyways, but even more so now. Last year we could play the underdog card, but this year that's definitely not what our persona is.
No, by the end of last season,
it wasn't
weren't
either,
the underdog anymore. So, I'm always impressed with your coaching staff. You have a consistent coaching staff. You have a lot of long-time volleyball minds that are there with you. Mm-hmm. Nick Hanneman has been around forever. And so Kurt Hansen's been around longer than forever. And then Aubrey, I'm just glad she's with you and learning, and she's got to give you some different insight also. Tell us what you think about your coaching staff, strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I learned from Dan Glenn that, how you're successful is by who you have around you. And so bringing in different coaches who have a different opinion and different insights, and they notice different things than I do, is vital to the success of the team. So we have, Nick Hanneman, who has played quite a bit at the high level, played beach. He's also, helping out with Hunter, and he gets to be there. I love the dad aspect too. I think that's huge. But he's in working with our setters and especially Drake, able to really work and navigate that, create that relationship between our hitters. We have Kurt Hansen, who also is a very, was a great athlete, wealth of knowledge. He's really working with our blockers, great with, Jack, Colton, and Danny, and helping them move along, reading the systems on the other side. Aubrey is another great coach to have in the gym. Her positivity and how she speaks with the boys, it's just another way to help navigate the learning.
Well, I've watched you coach, and I'm really impressed with how you designate different coaches to different areas, and you let them run with it. And some coaches go, oh, no, that's not how. No, you let them run, and you have trust in what they're teaching, and it obviously is working very well.
Absolutely. I like to think of it as kind of a football aspect of, you have your head coach, you have your defensive coordinator, your offensive coordinator, and you trust in what they're doing. And obviously the coach can still be the play caller, but those are the different aspects.
Well, and uniting them, the combination and the transition between the two sections of it is really important. That's what you do. So
right.
That's great. Your schedule is, you've got the extremely tough Sunset League. Everybody's really good in that league. And then plus you schedule Mater Dei, Miracosta, Loyola, and Santa Margarita as non-league games. Those are all very, very good teams to play. And then you've got your Redondo tournament,
right.
Early season, good time to do it. And the Best of the West, which is always a great accumulation of all the best teams. Tell me what your thoughts are about your schedule.
Well, we want to be playing our best volleyball by the end of the year in, late April and May. So in order to do that, we need to play the best teams and the best tournaments early on to really figure out who we are and figure out what we need to work on. So every team that we play is going to be a top contender in CIF and also, in Sunset as well. So we really focus on being able to learn from every single match that we play, within the match, being able to adapt. And it's also really great to see them early, to see how we match up. And then later on, we have some of that information, that data that we can use. Absolutely.
Let's don't forget the alumni game on March 14th, Saturday, March 14th. It's always a big event at Corona del Mar.
Yeah, that's something that actually the alumni reached out to me, Nick Kirchie. He played in 2011. He was on that national championship team. And so he reached out to me my first year there. And he was like, hey, can we get this started again? Because of COVID, it wasn't. But that's just really something fun that just kind of unites the community and the boys with, the legacy of before. And we have Steve Conti, who comes and coaches the alumni team, which is, a tremendous thing to get him back in the coaching gym. He's not coaching, but he's
visiting.
He's
not
visiting.
Coaching.
Yeah. And we have you with announcing, and it's just a really great time. And it's all about, bonding the boys, and the alumni that I even had play for me have come back and played. Reed and Everett played last year. And I know Sterling was in the gym. He didn't play, but he came and said hi. So it's really just a great event and building that CDM volleyball community.
Well, it's interesting because you always need to break it down to your varsity, that the calls, whatever referee makes, are not going to go your way.
Yes.
It's definitely tilted towards helping the alumni,
of
the
course.
Old guys, Talk to me about the Sunset League. What are your thoughts about each team? It very much improved. It's better.
Yeah.
It was a young league last year, and they did well, and now you guys are all a year older.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely, I would say, the hardest league there is.
I think in the United States.
Yeah.
Toughest league in the United States.
Yeah. So, starting off with Huntington, Craig is a phenomenal coach, and I've, coached with him, and now I've coached against him quite a bit, which is
It's fun to watch you two battle coaching wise.
Is it?
Yeah, you both know each other pretty well.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
Yeah, so he always has a team. He can just get his boys to play for him, and they play so hard, and they're so locked in on their system, so competitive. I know we're going to see great things from the Oilers, Newport, which is always a really fun battle bay. That is our second match of the year. We play them on during ski week, just from scheduling and trying to work that out. How'd that happen? Just with our preseasons and everything already done, and it was on the Best of the West, so we had to move it, and we're playing in different tournaments. Mm-hmm. So it's just unfortunate, but, we were able to schedule it.
It probably will only hurt the lower levels anyway.
Yeah.
You could be missing some people, but
right.
Varsity level, you better be there.
Oh, yeah. No, varsity's definitely there. CDM has an AGS trip that they do, and so I have quite a few boys who are going to out of the country for this school trip that they normally go on. So it's unfortunate that they're missing Battle of the Bay, but a great experience for them. But
Los Alamitas, new coach.
Yes,
they're going to be tough. They had a lot of guys back on their team. Marina is the up and coming team.
Lots of juniors returning.
Yeah,
very nice.
So they'll be difficult to understand.
Edison's going to be up there with Trent back at the helm. Fountain Valley had a great year that they're going to probably build upon. Like, when you look at all the coaches there, like, talk to us about all the coaches and how you have to, like, game plan for each and every team differently. Yeah,
I mean, there's no easy games in Sunset. Every time you have to show up, you have to be ready to compete. We scout every team that we play. We have a game plan going into each one, talking about who their, primary offensive weapons are, how we're going to set up our defensive system, how we're going to combat the game management styles, you could say, that some of our teams have, or the atmosphere that's going to be in the gym. So these are all the different aspects that we have to take in individually for each person or each team we play in the Sunset. Right. And I mean, 2 games a week, that's not a big turnaround to be able to plan and switch modes. So it really works on the boys' flexibility to be able to mentally engage and disengage between the matches.
Well, with Wednesday and Friday matches, as a coach, it's hard. You usually like to focus on the tougher of the two. Well, you can't.
Right.
Because everybody's tough. So you got to be ready for Wednesday and then have one day to turn around and get ready for Friday. Not a lot of time. It gets really good competition, which only increases your ability to focus for an extended amount of time.
Right.
Key to success. The other one is I always like to look at the other team's strength and see what we do to take that away. That when they can't do what they want to do, then now you see the real character of some teams.
Yeah.
And I think you guys do a great job of that, especially in game.
Yeah. A lot of times we can't necessarily stop their best, offensive player, but we can try to limit and try to bring them down a couple notches. But, there's going to be times where guys are going to go up and they're going to hit OT, and it's just, hey, we got to be able to move to the next play.
OT is over the top, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just look at your returners. I mean, you've got Ben Brown, who's committed to go to UC Santa Barbara. Drake Foley, who's a great player. His brother Sterling plays at USC, but Drake has played the libero for you. Mm-hmm. He's played setter. This will be his second year setting. He's about 6'6" or 6'7" now. Yeah. He's outside hitting on his club team. Yeah. So he can kind of do it all. He's going to a program that's outstanding. Penn State is well coached and a great volleyball community, and he'll be great at that. Hunter Hanneman, as I say, I thought was your most improved player last year. Really diversified his shots, had a lot of good feel for what would be successful, and handled the back row. Danny Booker's he's your only junior in that group, and he definitely has raised his level, raised his belief in the system and what you're doing, I think. You can address that.
Silent assassin.
Brady Gant, who's got a brother playing at BYU and a brother playing at Stanford. Mom and dad both were outstanding players at BYU, and he was just a steady right side guy for you. Did a good job. And then you've got Jack Robinson, who's, was a real
Right.
added
Yeah.
middle last year for you late in the season, and he's just going to grow with that. And then, as I said earlier, Chapman Warmington. Tell me how you assessed those returners in their value to what you're going to do.
Right. We are very fortunate to have all of those guys back in the gym. And it was nice because we were able to somewhat not necessarily leave off where we did last year, but we didn't have to start from scratch. So right now what we're doing is we're really working on, fine tuning some of their serve receive skills for the passers, working on the connections between the hitters and the setters. And the strength is the experience of what they bring to the table. And something we're really working on now is, since they all play at different clubs and different systems, is really bringing them back into a cohesive unit, into what we do, how we play, which always takes a little bit of time. But since they've done it before, once again, we're not starting from zero.
Right.
Which is fantastic. So our gym, definitely our approach is a lot different than previous years. But we also, as you said, we now have a target on our back since we have that. So it's really stressing, hey, people are going to show up to play us. They know what you did last year. They're going to be able to see that, be able to adjust earlier. How do we raise our game? How do we change, or how do we extend what we've been working on to really raise our level?
Now, you've got a lot of players on your roster that are first-year varsity players.
Yes.
How many of those do you think, just give us some names of people you think could be a factor in that starting seven?
Yeah, I mean, Cash Alexander, he is a lefty right side.
Big jumper. Big
yes,
jumper.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
so
a quick arm.
Yeah, bringing him into the mix as well. Just we don't have as many pins right now, so he's going to be crucial in that mix. We have Marco DeBella, who's a setter, a junior as well. He's going to be able to come in. Drake, who played outside, in club, he can now swing pretty well. So we always have the ability to run a 6-2 if needed. We also have a transfer from Calvary, which is Levi Ailman, another great guy to have in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, we're, we have also Colton Carson, another middle, who great blocker, very quick. So adding him into the mix makes us very well-rounded. So very happy with the 12 that we currently have in the gym and being able to see them progress.
Allows for competitive practices.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Taryn, what do you have?
So I gotta say, even though you're only in year 5 of being a head coach, is this one of your more deeper or experienced rosters that you've had in terms of coaching?
At CDM?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
any place, wherever you've coached. Even though I think you've only been a coach for CDM, unless
you
you
had a national championship coach in club.
Yes.
She
Yeah,
won a
so that
national
was
championship.
probably my most experienced team, was coaching for OCVC, having that team. But at
Center
CDM,
was pretty good.
so yeah, and he's doing quite well right now as
Yeah.
well. And I have another one. I just went to his wedding. He goes to BYU, and he's in the starting lineup now too. So I'm really excited for him. But at CDM, I would definitely say this is the most well-rounded, experienced unit that we've had. We've had teams with George and Sterling, which are phenomenal, but that was more of 2 guys, whereas everyone here really is a factor and believes in the unit of the team, and that's our strength.
Right.
And so I would say that, this year has definitely been the most experienced as a group of 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I also want to talk about Chapman Warmington. I mean, I feel he's kind of like a quiet guy, but now he's going to have the spotlight on him. Talk to me and us about Chapman Warmington and how he's patiently waited his turn, and now he gets his chance to be the libero.
So Chapman was a captain for us last year. So his leadership and his ability to, bring the guys together, he's our glue guy. And now he's going to be doing that on the court for us. So bringing that in and kind of being able to stabilize our passers, and being just another guy who knows how to bring everyone together when we need it. If, we're starting to dip a little bit, or we have the Corona cruise,
A famed Corona Cruise.
Yes, that is from Conti time. Oh, is that from back when you were coaching
It's
too?
been going on a long time.
But he's somebody that I am not worried about in any way. Experience-wise, in high school, yes, he was not our starting libero last year, but he still was vital to our success and saw time on the court. So he is going to be another guy who I think just fits right in, and there's not going to be any real step down from previous
His
year.
work ethic has always impressed me also.
Yeah, he is the first one in the gym. He makes sure the floors are cleaned. He makes sure everybody's ready to go. He really sets the tone for our practice. So him being a captain again, we're expecting that same leadership.
And he was very valuable for you all after Ben did go down against Carlsbad. I did see that match against Huntington. I PA'd announced that match against Huntington. He got the start at libero, and he was vital. He even has a wicked topspin serve.
He is very versatile as an outside hitter as well. Like, he jumps extremely well. So he is somebody that we use in a ton of different spots at practice, and we know we have the ability to use in games and matches if needed.
Keep an eye on him, college coaches. And then one last thing. What can we expect from Corona Del Mar in general? Because, again, a lot of returning starters. You're in your 5th year. You know the system. And it feels like everything is shaping up for you all to have such a big season. I'm getting that feeling that you all, and I cover quite a bit of volleyball.
Yeah, so, I mean, yes, we want to win CIF and Battle of the Bay and Best of the West and state, but it starts Saturday with our approach to Mater Day and how we are going to navigate that, and then what we're going to learn and apply for our next match, which is Newport Harbor. So we're very big on taking it kind of step by step and hoping that we don't get too big for our britches, but that's something the staff has all talked about of, hey, we got to make sure that each practice we have set goals, we have a set intent of what we need to get covered, what we need to improve on, and then ensuring that the boys know as well, because that having the boys be able to recognize what we need to work on, what they need to specifically work on, they need to take ownership in that as well and then be able to apply it later on.
Something else I noticed, which was really unique on your roster that you sent me, is maybe the most popular guy in the gym is your team manager.
Nikki Tamura.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just remember last year he actually played a little bit, and the crowd went crazy, which must mean he's a special guy.
He is. He came to me at the beginning of the season and said, hey, coach, with all my extracurriculars right now, I'm not sure if volleyball, if I can make that commitment. And I said, you're vital to this team. Your personality, you being in the gym, I mean, you're vital to the coach's sanity, honestly. So we were able to talk him into being our team manager. So he comes to practice a couple days a week and still has that camaraderie with the boys, and he'll be at our matches as much as he possibly can. So we're extremely lucky to have another year with Nikki.
Those are the special things, Coach, that make it all special, doing things like that and recognizing it. Yeah. So, Taryn, don't tell me you're speechless.
I mean, I'm just looking at this entire schedule. You've got quite a number of matches that are like definitely noteworthy, but the Huntington match is what really stands out to me. I know it stung losing 3 times to them last year, but do you use that as like motivation, or is that just in the rear view mirror?
I mean, we absolutely keep it in the back of our minds every time we play Huntington, and I know that Huntington approaches it the same way we do, of like, we really want to beat them. But we make sure to, new year, it's a new us, we got to make sure we're taking care of business on our side, and that's how we approach each game. So hopefully we can take a win off them this year, though.
That's a very professional approach, and I'm sure both you and Craig Bazzani are the same way.
Yeah.
It's important, but the next matchup is the most important.
Right.
Absolutely. And I actually do want to know, who are some of your coaching influences, and who are some of the people that influenced you to get into coaching?
That's a great question. People who definitely influence my coaching that I call on is Charlie is one that I definitely talk to quite a bit, is Dan Glenn. is somebody I talk to. Steve Conti is another. Coaching with Rocky at Harbor for a few years. Dan Glenn. When I got into coaching, I had the opportunity to coach at OCVC or OCVBC and Balboa. But it was really important to me that I didn't necessarily coach at a system that I already knew. I wanted to expand that. And so I coached at a club in Huntington where I was with Craig for a couple years. I've been in his gym at Huntington. Then I went down to OCVC where I coached because I moved down there, where I worked with Miguel Monterola, who's a phenomenal coach, Rich Paris, and
Josh Coe.
Yeah, absolutely. And
guy.
That's who I talk to all the time. He's another CDM coach. And another aspect is my background in teaching. So that's something I really bring into the gym of being how to work with the kids. So like function of behavior, why is somebody acting a certain way? How do we approach it? Are they not understanding how we're saying it? Is it what we're specifically asking them to do? So that's just another aspect that I bring into the gym. But I'm very big on being able to bounce ideas off of other coaches and, being able to expand my coaching abilities by learning from them as well.
It's really interesting. I'm sure you've experienced this. As we do the PAing, you're right there by your huddle, your coach's huddle, and I can hear the whole thing going on, and it is really interesting. A lot of great minds. To your credit, you're the one that corrals all that and puts it the direction you guys want it to go. I've known Katie since she was a 7th grader, and her sister happened to be playing soccer on the same team as my daughter, coached by Katie's dad.
Yeah.
And that's where it all got started. I said, well, I have a little club, come and play. And then I just noticed, like I went over for Thanksgiving at the Thompson's house, and I didn't realize the major activity at Thanksgiving is the backyard grass volleyball match. It goes on. I mean, people are leaving and coming, got to change the turkey, got to cook the potatoes, whatever. But the one common thing from everybody in that family, they all cheat. They all cheat to win, every one of them.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
There you go.
And if you lose, you do dishes.
Absolutely, that's
And
true.
laundry.
You had to compete for chores, so you can't lose.
That's something I remember from the Thompson family.
Well,
Absolutely.
I've never been at the house.
Katie has 4 sisters, all of them very competitive. 3 of them played college volleyball very successfully. And your older sister's a really famous paddler, a good paddler.
Right.
Kelly.
Yes.
And it's just an athletic family led by your mom and dad,
Right.
who are both very competitive. So
Yeah.
there's a reason that we had to lie and cheat playing volleyball.
Of course.
So, anything else, Taryn?
I think I've pretty much nailed everything, unless you think we missed something. Like anything else you want to talk about? Any shout outs or thank yous before we close this thing out?
No, I think just thank you for having me on and, promoting boys volleyball and, celebrating CDM.
Well, all the coaches in Sunset League, and especially you, are doing an outstanding job. And I really want to shout out to the support you get from the athletic department and the faculty at Corona Del Mar. They enjoy what you're doing and really support that also. A special thanks to Sunset Rewind, who really has set all this up to give this thing the popularity that it should have, because it is a big, in the United States, this is where it happens.
Right.
So, Taryn, do your spiel.
Absolutely. Thank you, Katie, for coming down here and letting us interview you. We appreciate it. You already know I'm going to be there. Charlie's going to be there. He's going to be PA announcing like 95% of the matches. I'll be there for like media purposes and to grow the game of volleyball. But we appreciate your time here. And that'll do it for this episode of Sunset Rewind. Thank you to Charlie Brand for leading the way, the man, the myth, the legend. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else. Thank you to the man behind the glass, Max Pickup, as well as as Cole Menzinger, James Krupe, Murphy Cargis, Nate Gervin, and anyone I might have missed. Make sure you go online to sunsetrewind.com, where we have all sorts of game recaps and features. We don't just cover volleyball. We cover football, basketball, soccer, lacrosse, you name it. Also, make sure to follow Sunset Rewind on social media on X, Instagram, and TikTok at sunset_rewind. And we are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. We definitely need your help. Every little bit happens, so definitely like and subscribe as well. We'll be back with another little feature on boys volleyball Sunset League action, but that'll do it. Take care, everybody.